All right. How's it going for you, Ken?
It's going good, man. Now that I cleared the air.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I want to actually take a break from giving tips for a moment and just have an open discussion with you.
That works.
Yeah, and today I want to talk about voting, gun training, and
Okay.
then this project I want to put together, but I'm still thinking about it of how I need to do and what I need to do.
Okay.
So I need to talk to a few friends and put some stuff in motion.
All right.
But what I wanted to talk to you about the voting aspect is I don't understand how people can sit here and complain about something's going on about the leadership of the nation, about what their take of it is, but yet we as the people, we are not even actively engaged in our own community.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. And it's been a long-standing problem ever since the 60s when the Black Panther Party was trying to register folks to vote, and it became the civil rights movement, and they were fighting for the right to vote. And folks had to carry their arms to the polls, and churches we're about peace. We don't want you guys to get hurt. Don't do it. We've always been a population of struggle, of going against this. The other people's problems is not our problem. And now that we got everything, we have all the rights of every other person. We don't exercise those rights, and we still will allow other people to talk for us, to speak for us, and then complain when stuff doesn't go our way. Hasn't changed.
Yeah, like I said, it's pretty upsetting to me. And like I had a conversation just yesterday in regards to listening to somebody complain about um the laws and everything that's going on right now. And as soon as I asked this question, like, did you vote? And of course, they was talking about, yeah, I went out there and I voted for the president. No. Did you vote for the district judge in your area, the sheriff, the coroner? You got to be active in your community before you step foot on the big platform. You got to do it small before you get the big.
Yeah. One
And
of the things you said.
oh, you muted yourself.
One of the things that you said a while back was that your father make sure that you guys knew about the Constitution, and so you're like ahead of the curve on a lot of stuff. But there's a lot of people, man, who never think about that all elections are local, that their vote actually matters, that those calls, those robocalls, all those stickers, all those giant signs that are everywhere right now for the primaries are very, very important. And if you really had some guts, you'd run yourself, because then you could actually find out the process and find out who's actually doing stuff.
Right. You know, I know we was talking about linking up, and my buddies at Delphi Tactical, they was talking about doing something like you talked about, the road trip, and pulling out the camera, doing
Yeah.
all that. And I was sitting down and I was thinking about it. I was like, whoever I decide to do a road trip with, even if it's both parties, I think wherever we stop at, I'm just going to open up the doors and just do a voting drive. Like, hey, come on
Can't
over
go
here.
wrong
Let's
with
get
that.
you registered to vote. You know.
Can't go wrong with
So,
that. Not at all.
yeah. So that's one of my projects I want to work on here coming up in the near future. Like going around the
Citizenship.
city. Yeah, just going around the city and just talking to people like, hey, how many of y'all registered to vote? Like, come on over here, sign this piece of paper. I'll take care of mailing it in and everything. You just sign it, fill it out. I'll get you registered to vote. But when it's time to vote, you better be at the polling booth, you know. But yeah, I just think people need to get more involved into their communities. And like I said,
I
that's
like
one of
that
the
a
things
lot.
I want to get into.
That's
And
really cool, man. I think maybe we should start doing that on the real.
yeah, like I said, I already started looking it up. I went down to the office that you got to go talk to, but the hardest thing will be because it's a time window of the paperwork that you pick up. So like if I get you to sign a piece of paper on a Saturday, I have to have it in their office by Monday because it's the sensitivity of the paperwork and them
Right.
having to do whatever they got to do with it. So but here in South Carolina, you can just go down and once you get your driver's license, they ask you at DMV do you want to register to vote? They take care of all that for you right there also. You know, but it's like a lot of people, they just oblivious to it, you know. So, but at the same time, like I said, I was thinking about doing something whereas we can get together, partner with a few other people that are willing to jump in, give some free gun training, and at the same time, your admission fee is to come register to be a voter.
That's what I'm talking about. That's really good, dude. That's really, really good.
Yeah, because like I was telling you earlier, gun training is important, but like you had told me, you don't understand the concept of people buying these high priced guns and not getting the training to use it.
Man, you can go to any gun store or any gun expo and watch folks go crazy over the latest gun. And then once they have it, shoot it maybe one box at the most and put that thing away and never touch it again. But, oh yeah, I'm a gun owner. I got a gun. Don't know squat. And if they actually go to a class, it'll be the one that's required for concealed carry, and then not go a step further than that. There's you can probably grab 10 people and 9 of them have not got further training.
Yeah, that's very true. You know, I used to joke my buddy Solo on this all the time because Solo tries to outperform me in the shooting aspect. But it's like I kept telling him, if you want to be in the shooting, you can't buy the cheap equipment that's not going to work, because like if you buy a scope, you don't want to pull the trigger and the vibration from the bang turns your scope. Now your sights are off, you know, and you don't want to buy that cheap ammo that when you go to pull the bolt back or waiting for the casing to eject, it's stuck
Still in
in
there.
the chamber. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, man, you can't take the cheap way out. You know,
but we do all the time. We'll buy that rifle, and we want the cheap ammo. For the handguns, I've seen the guys, and I was like this. No, I wasn't like this. When you buy a handgun, they say, all right, you got to buy a holster, and you buy that little black thing with all the straps to it. And your first training class, when you're at the range, and they're like, all right, we're going to draw and fire 2 rounds, and you pull your holster, and it comes out with the gun, and it's still stuck on there. And you're like, oh man, my strap just broke. And there's always like a seasoned vet, man, that goes, here, young buck, here's a leather holster, or here's a Kydex, or here's something that you can use because your stuff is trash. But you never know, man, because you got that thing from Cheaper Than Dirt, or you bought it somewhere. And almost every gun guy that's been around a while has a box of holsters that they've gone through going, this is crap, this is crap, this is crap.
Well, I could tell you, I went through a few holsters in my time. Some of them were good, some of them not so good.
Yeah.
But the one company that I'm leaning towards right now is JM4 Tactical.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of leather, but I'm impressed with their product, right? And it's like every time I talk to the owner, it's always something else. And he came up with a new holster. It's called the Relic series. It's like a mixture between the Kydex and leather.
Okay.
It's awesome. But like I said, I'm gonna be talking to him in a few weeks, and I'm gonna bring him onto the show. And then at the same time, he's sending me one of those holsters, so I'm gonna do a review on that also. But once again, it goes back into that whole training of, you know, if you got this equipment, this tool, why are you shortchanging the tool to perform at its best?
That's true.
Know what I'm saying? So, this other project that I want to do, do you watch Live PD?
No.
You heard of it though, right?
Yeah.
All right. So for the people who are listening, if they don't know what Live PD is, it's like Cops on steroids. The TV show Cops on, Cops. So basically, what it is it's a camera crew that follows a unit around the city, and they have a video, the production crew here in Columbia, South Carolina. So you could be watching TV and be like, hey man, that's down the street, I know what that is. You know, somebody getting pulled over or whatever the case may be. All right, so a couple of those guys came into the gym where I train at, you know, and one my buddy was talking to one of them, and the guy was saying he's been on the Columbia police force for like 5 years, and this is the first time he's done any type of training like this.
Oh, okay.
So automatically, when I heard that conversation, once again, my wheels start turning. Another project, what I want to do is I want to come up with the funds and bring forth a lot of jiu-jitsu gyms to open their doors to train these officers who don't get this training on the police force, you know,
Yeah.
or do something along the lines of getting somebody from the police force, whether it be the sheriff's office or whatever is in that city or town, bring in one person or two people and train them up, let them be the subject matter experts to go back and train the rest of the people on the force. And then somehow or another make it mandatory training, because I think that will cut down on a lot of BS, that's going on.
Unfortunately,
So,
most of the people who wear a badge work a whole bunch of hours,
right.
and training is like not their friend.
Hmm.
I've seen more than I'd like to admit that the more higher trained people are not law enforcement. You have a person who, after they get out of the academy, training just drops, where they have to qualify every year or every 6 months, depending on the department, and they do not relish it. I mean, it's like, oh man, I got to go to training again. And then this is just to qualify. You don't see them at the range usually. And a lot of the dojos, a lot of the gyms actually have reduced prices for law enforcement, but you don't see that many in there. It's a strange thing that
Yeah.
folks who need it the most don't want it.
Yeah, that's true. But like I said,
Got to give
I'm
it a
gonna put
shot.
something. I'm gonna put something together. Whereas there can be some form of a partnership where
Hmm.
something can be worked out, because that was pretty upsetting to hear that. Like, this is your first time doing this type of training,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So I'm just
And
like,
and you want and you wonder. See, what happens is when you look at a video of a police anything, police are wailing on somebody with a ass baton, hitting somebody with a taser, ultimately shooting them. That whole thing about the use of force, they don't remember it. They got it from when they first started, and now they're on the street, and now they're terrified. Now their technique is bad. Now the person doesn't fall down like they do in training. They actually stay up. So what are you going to do when the first level is that you're wearing a uniform, that use that part of your force, that they know that you're law enforcement. You give them a verbal command, and that didn't stop them. And so now they're actually threatening you, and all that stuff kind of goes out the window. And police officers, law enforcement people need more confidence in their job. That's how when you only have one tool, the firearm, and you go to it immediately because you're terrified, because your training sucks, because your confidence level is low. That's how people get shot. That's how black folks get shot.
right,
And it's a human reaction to a poor situation, to poor training, to poor confidence. And that stuff comes out in court, but it's not sexy. So you don't hear about it. And it looks like all cops are trying to kill black people. But it goes to what you're trying to fix.
right,
Training, confidence, all that is part of it.
yeah. So like I said, I'm gonna put some more thought into it, and like I said, I'm gonna come up with a good game plan, and I'm gonna come and bring it back to you, brainstorm it with you. But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and interrupt the show for a little bit for a personal one-on-one conversation.
Nah, man, this is good. This is good.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna tell you about you. You are an inspiration to me at this time in my life of being still fired up, still ready to make a difference, still ready to change. Uh, I'm just trying not to steal your shine and kill your joy.
No, I'm more like, let's share
Being,
it.
being in this thing for so long.
Yeah.
So keep on doing your thing, man.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I continue to keep pushing. But at the same time, like I said, I talk to you all the time, and like I expressed to you, it's all about pushing forward and putting one step in front of the other, and just putting your ideas out there. And one day they're gonna flourish. Sometimes they'll fail. You don't know until you try. Yep. So but at the same time, I'm just happy to be here. You know
I
what I'm
got you.
saying? I'm having fun doing everything that we're doing, and everything behind the scenes, on the scene. I'm just having a great time.
You're going to the NRA meeting next week, right?
Correct.
All right. What you got planned for that?
Just walk around talking to a group of people. I'm gonna try to pull a bunch of people to come on to the show. At the same time, I'm gonna try to get people to sponsor the show.
All right.
And but like I said, I'm just gonna go out there, throw our name out there. Not like you really need it, but like, hey, come support us so we can do this and help you out. And you help us out. Everybody has fun, and we all sitting around the campfire smiling.
I heard that. I heard that.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here so you can take over the show again. I just want to throw my little 2 cents in and share some ideas with everybody of what I wanted to do. But y'all go ahead and have a great rest of your week. And the next time you hear from me, probably be at the NRA convention. So until then, keep shooting, keep practicing, and have fun. Back to you, Ken.
Good job, sir.
All right.